Hello, I'm Bob Loudermilk with Second Half Life, and we're glad you're with us today. I want to begin with a quick story. Back in the days of traveling the country by horse, there were two men that had traveled for days on their horses. One evening, as they were coming down near a creek, a strange thing happened. They heard a loud voice out of nowhere that said, "Stop!" They, of course, obeyed. The voice then said, "Get off your horses," which they did. The voice then strangely commanded, "Go to the creek bed and fill your pocket with pebbles." Nervously, they grabbed a quick handful of pebbles and put them into each pocket. The voice then commanded, "Now get back on your horses," which they did. Then the voice said something very strange. It said, "Tomorrow morning when you wake up, you're going to be both very happy as well as very, very sad. Now ride on," which of course they took off. They rode on into the evening, finally stopped and made camp, and went to sleep that night thinking about the strange events of the day and wondering what the voice meant by saying, "Tomorrow you'll be very happy as well as very sad." In the morning when they woke up, they happened to reach into their pockets, and all of the pebbles that they had put there had been turned into diamonds. And just like the voice had said, they were both very happy that they had the diamonds, but they were also very sad that they hadn't put more pebbles into their pockets. As we think about our lives, I think all of us can identify. We look back and there are things that we're very proud of, things that we're very happy about, but there's also those areas that we regret. And I want to talk about that for a little bit today, because I think it's important for all of us, whether we're above 50 or younger than 50, it's important that we make peace with our past. Now, depending on your spiritual foundation, that begins with making peace with your Creator and finding forgiveness. But it also includes forgiving yourself. And there are things in our past that we need to forgive ourselves for and then move on. It's kind of like driving a car. It's fine to look in the rearview mirror to see where we've come from and what's behind us. But it's important that we spend more time looking through the windshield so that we know where we're going. Now, here at Second Half Life, that's what we're all about. We're here to support you. We're here to help you in any way that we can, and we do that in a couple of ways. One is through things like this newsletter that comes out periodically, where we have a motivating video and we have stories like the one by the Oklahoma columnist Robin Gunn, who's going to talk about some of the end-of-life issues in her article today. We have sponsorships available, a good article by a sponsor, which, by the way, if you're a company that wants to sponsor the newsletter, be sure and reach out to us about that. We also do it through our annual event, the Second Half Expo, which is coming up on October 22nd in Oklahoma City. And if you haven't sent in your RSVP to attend this event free, be sure to go to our website and do that at secondhalfexpo.com. I just want to remind you today that you are creating your future right now, and the future can be bright. Years ago, I turned 50, and I remember that was the only birthday that ever bothered me just a little bit, because when you're young, very young, you think 50's old, and so there was something about 50. But I was volunteering that night, and we were singing at an assisted living and care home. I remember meeting a lady named Betty. I'll never forget what she told me that night. She was in her 90s, and Betty said this. She said, "I've often reflected back and wish I could go back to my 70s. She said, "Those were the best years of my life." And I walked out of there feeling so young. I thought, if the 70s are the best years of your life, I'm a spring chicken. Well, it doesn't really matter what decade you're in right now. Let's make these days some of the best of your life. Let us help you. Let us assist. Let us give you resources to make that happen. I'm Bob Loudermilk, reminding you that the view is better above 50.